Hello and welcome to the channel. Gav Axeman Spins with a viewer request, subscriber request. So thank you to Annette for suggesting this one a while ago. A ranking video on the Charlatans, a band formed at the end of the 80s, first album 1990, had a fantastic 1990s, and they're still going strong. New album comes out Halloween 2025, but it's been a long gap since the previous one. So album 14 comes soon, but the album 13 was 2017, so an 8-year gap. I've seen them live, brilliant band. I've jumped around to nightclubs for some of their big singles for way too many years, and they're just a brilliant band. And I think with the Charlatans, they're always an up band, an optimistic band. There's not much kind of wallowing, despite the fact that them having all kinds of tragedies over the years. Not a what I would call a lucky band, but the resilience is phenomenal. So a couple of founder members have passed away along the years. Way too young, tragically young in one case. They've had some dodgy accountant rip them off, and they've gone through all the kind of fashions of the music industry in the 90s, from Manchester to grunge through Britpop and out the other side, and the fortunes of the record industry as well has done that, hasn't it, in those times. But they're still going, coming back soon, and it's great to have them back because they're a phenomenally good UK band. And if you haven't heard any of the Charlatans, go check them out. A couple of comps there, that's the most recent one, and then Melting Pot's a very good one. That finishes in 1997, I think, but that one's a bit more up to date and has a more of a career overview. So something when you're doing ranking videos has to come at the bottom, and the one I thought what I did, I started at the most recent album, went backwards. When I listened to them all, I've had a lovely couple of weeks, and there was a couple of moments where I was jumping around the house thinking, oh, this is such a good thing. I've had them on in the car, really enjoy listening to these. But the album I thought might come out bottom, when I re-listened to it, did. So when I first bought this, I thought it was a bit disappointing, and my opinion hasn't really changed. This was released in 2004, and it was the final album on a major label, Universal, and I feel that the band were a little bit tired. I don't think being on a major label did them fitted well for them. I think they're an indie band, and you know, on a smaller record label where they're loved. I think on this big label got lost a bit. The cover's a bit nothing, and the songs don't really ever take off on this one. The production, I don't know, it's a bit bland. The only song I ever kind of go back to is the final song, Dead Love. That's a bit different, a nice song. Blue For You's okay. Up at the Lake, the title track's okay, but the rest of it's not great. And there's one song there called Bonafide Treasure, which I really don't like. It's the only Charlatan song I've ever listened to. I really don't like that one. So not great, and it is bottom. And it's probably the one, if you were collecting the catalogue, you'd leave till last, in my opinion. Okay, so that's the 13th one. The 12th one, this one from 2006. Now, I'd love to actually tell you what the title is, but I've done 3 attempts at making the video, and I don't think I can actually pronounce it. It's a bit of a tongue twister, so well done to you if you can say that, but that's what it's called. This is what I call a New York City album. From the cover, I mean, a great cover in it. It's a homage to those Blondie albums and the Ramones and things like that. But you can tell they'd listened to the late Clash stuff, you know, the London Calling, Sandinista era. Been listening to the Stones' late 70s albums, so Some Girls Sues maybe to Undercover. It's got that kind of vibe to it. A little bit too much. It's a little bit too derivative, this one. Having said that, the opening track, Black and Blue Eyes, is great. Muddy Ground's a great song as well. But well worth getting. Good luck finding one on vinyl, though. Very hard to find. I did see, there's a few I haven't got on vinyl, and I did see them in Den Bosch, but they were all well over the €100 kind of price tag. So number 12 from 2006. From 2017, at number 11, Different Days. Now, from here on in, all of these albums are solid albums. They just get better and better and better. So this one is well worth getting. It's their most recent album to date, and a proper album, if that makes sense, a proper listening experience. A lot of the songs seed together. And it's really, really strong. A couple of different things as well. There's some spoken word kind of sections. Ian Rankin, the author, narrates a song. Kurt Wagner does. Johnny Marr's on this album, Paul Weller, a lot of guitar stuff, and the New Order duo of Stephen Morrison, Julian Gilbert on here as well. So a very indie album, really, really good. And I saw them this too, and they're a phenomenal live band, so well worth getting that one. And then number, so that with that, so 13, 12, so this will be number 10, I think. I have got notes here, but Modern Nature, yes, number 10 from 2014. This is a really good album. It's born under very, very difficult circumstances, this one. They'd lost founder member John Brooks, and hence that you'll, from this point on, you do get kind of guest drummers and things. There's some really good songs on this album. It's not maudlin at all. So I Need You to Know, great song that is. Emile, wonderful. I've put Trouble Understanding here as well, worth listening to. Yeah, Let the Good Times Be Never Ending's a good one as well. Really, really good album. Under difficult circumstances, as I say, the resilience of this band is that. So that would be 2010, I think that one was. Just make sure. Oh no, 2014. Sorry. So number 9, probably giving it away, is from 2010. So another one I've got on vinyl. This is what I think of. If some albums betray what listen to, they were listening to a lot of indie rock on this one, I think. So Who We Touch, a totally different sound, very much an alternative album. The singles are the best things on here. Your Purest Soul, Smash the System, Sincerity, and there's some interesting, slightly different stuff on here as well, but that's well worth getting, and a different sound. Doesn't sound like any of the other Charlatans albums, this one, so that's well worth getting from 2010. That's number 9. So number 8, from 2001, Wonderland. Now, I think the big problem with this one, I think they got the wrong single. I think Love Is the Key, which was the song that they chose as the lead single, or the label chose, is not, doesn't to me ever quite get going enough. The opener, You're So Pretty, We're So Pretty, is a much better choice. And the second single was A Man Needs to Be Told. It's a brilliant song and totally different. That might have been something to go with. Real up production, being modern, less of a 60s thing. Tim Burgess is using a lot of falsetto vocal on this one now. So this one didn't do as well. And I think this is the one that kind of was the first kind of time in their career that it had had a bit of a whoop down since the kind of heyday of the 90s. So all right, but it's not quite as good as what had gone before, is probably the problem with that one. Okay, so number 8. The final one I haven't got on, so there's 3 I haven't got on vinyl, so this is a CD. This is a brilliant album, You Cross My Path. I did make some notes on this one. So for me, this is a really look back at classic 80s indie. I think of bands like The Horrors and stuff like that. There's no guests on this. It's very kind of like they'd gone through the Cherry Red and Creation Records catalogues of the 80s and kind of come up with their tribute to it. Oh, Vanity's great on here, Misbegotten, really, really solid album, this one from 2008. Again, hard to get on vinyl, but a brilliant, brilliant album. So that's the track listing there, well worth listening to. Really enjoyed that one, actually. That was a surprise, that one, as to how good it was. And I think that will take us up to the top 6. So so this one, number 6, when this came out, I felt it was a good album, but its production let it down. And I listened to it again, and I felt exactly the same all those years later. So from 1994 up to Our Hips. Now, this is the reissue, because, again, the vinyl copies are hard to find. So that's what the original cover looked like. And then they did it like this for the reissue and added another album. So glad they did, though, because original copies of this are really hard and are quite expensive in the UK to find. My local antique centres had one in the display cabinet for about 5 years at £100, and I tried to make an offer on it 5 years ago, and he said, no, I'm not budging, and it's still there. But there you go. But Up to Our Hips, produced by Steve Hillage. I think this one, that's the problem on this one. The drums and the guitars don't quite get going enough, but there's some cracking songs on here, including a homage to none other than Rob Walker of the VC in Jesus Hairdo. That's on here. Patrol, great song that is. Never Won an Easy Life if me and he were ever to get there. And then my kind of teenage anthem, Can't Get Out of Bed. Great album. So this is number 6, well worth getting, particularly this reissue, because it does add a lot of extra stuff to it. So that takes us to top 5. and we're kind of in the all killer no filler kind of section here. So number 5 from 1992, their second album, and their first album with their second guitarist, because their original guitarist left after the debut, between 10th and 11th. Lovely, or as I call it, the Banana album. Again, this is like a reissue with extra stuff on it. But this has got some career highlights in here. So you have to talk about Weirdo. The late sadly missed Rob Collins, that Hammond organ line of that. I'll try and sing it, but fabulous song. Tremolo song's great one. Can't Even Be Bothered. That's a great song. And this is out their most kind of what I would call Manchester sounding album. And after this one, this didn't do as well as the debut, and they had to change tack, which is where this one came in, and they went to a more guitar-based, less dancey kind of sound and a more organic sound. But this is a high gloss production. Chewing Gum Weekend's a good one, produced by Flood, and a lot of singles around the time of their first album and their second album are not on albums. So so things like Over Rising, Me in Time, Indian Rope, that you won't find those on albums. That's where those comps sometimes come in handy. But good album, number 5, but there is better to come. So number 4. Now I listened to this and it ripped my speakers off. I put it on really loud because my favourite song is Forever. And it's such a good song, and I remember jumping around dance floors to this one. So Us and Us Only, from 1999, the last one of the millennium. This is such a solid album. If you haven't heard this, go buy. It's brilliant. It's just epic. There's a lot of Dylan-y kind of influences. They'd lost Rob Collins, who was their original keyboard player, Hammond organ player, and on this one they start using mellotrons and stuff like that. A lot of kind of Dylan-y influences on this one, but it's a brilliant album. It also includes, as well as the epic Forever, but it has the lovely My Beautiful Friend, which is like a tribute song. That's a fabulous song. Some proper epics on this. Senses is another one. It's just a great album. So that's number 4 from 1999. Well worth getting. You will enjoy that one, I can tell you. Right, so top 3. Now this, if there was one that's caused me the most consternation whilst doing this, it was positions 3 and 2, because the one I'm about to show you, I listened to it and it sounded so fresh that it could be number 6. There's nothing really in 3 and 2, so I've put it at 3. And it's from 1995. Their self-titled album, just called The Charlatans. This is a nice reissue on the kind of orangey, flamey colours. But this is such a good, fun record. I put this on and I put it on again. It's the only one of all of them I listened to twice immediately. The one that's at number 2, I've gone back and listened to 3 or 4 times just to check that I haven't done this one a disservice. But I put it at 3. It's brilliant. The singles, Crashing In, Bullet Comes, Just Looking, Just When You're Thinking Things Over. There's the wonderful Pink Floyd rip-off where they nick the bit of Fearless from Medal on Here Comes Soul Saver. Toothache, great song. Tim had done his collaborations with the Chemical Brothers around this time, so they're helping out on some of the rhythm tracks. But the production's wonderful. It rights the wrongs of Up to Our Hips. There's a swagger in here, and I think this has got the birth of that mid-period classic Charlatans sound, and well worth getting. So 1995, self-titled, The Charlatans, number 3. Could have been number 2. Now, what did I put at number 2? And this caused me a bit of consternation, and then when I analyse it, is because I said to you earlier that a lot of their early singles are not on the albums. Now, for me, the signature Charlatans song, if it isn't One to Another, it would be the only one I know, which on the CD that I bought, my original CD, that is track 3, right up there. But it's a CD-only bonus track. The debut album, Some Friendly, which I put at number 2, does not have the only one I know on it. But it does have something like 109 Part 2, which is like an instrumentally soundcapey thing. So why they didn't leave that on as the bonus track and put the single on, I do not know. Whether it was like an indie thing, the Smiths didn't put singles on albums, did they? But the Charlatans, the only really of their first 5 singles, the only one that's on an album is Then, which is on here, but the only one I know, you leave it off the album. Then I thought about it and thought, am I being unfair to the album because I'm criticising it not for what's not on there rather than what is. So I listened to this about 3 or 4 times, and it is a great album. So it's held its number 2 spot. It nearly lost it, but it's not their fault. They're the record company. We're trying to get everyone to buy CDs. Now, this to me is their most Stone Roses-y Manchester album. It's got things like White Shirt on it, which is a very Ian Brownie kind of song. The key track on here is Sprunston Green, which closes the album. They still use that to close their live sets to this day. That's a banger. Then the single Wonderful Song. The only one I know is on the original CD. That's a classic. It's a 10-track vinyl album. Really, really good. Flower, Sonic, Polar Bear. Can't really say much more than that. But fab album number 2. So number 1, so those that know the Charlatans, it will be no surprise, I went for what I think, when I listened to this, I jumped about the house for ages, and I listened to it all over again. Telling Stories, all the singles on this are fabulous. So One to Another, what a song that is. North Country Boy, you know, how high that rips out the speakers. And then the title track, Telling Stories, a fabulous song. But, you know, One to Another, I think, might be, along with the only one I know, the quintessential Charlatan song. And if you've not jumped around a nightclub going, I'll be my Spider-Woman, I'll be your Spider-Man, you haven't really lived. This is such a good album. And I can't really fault it, really. This, again, is a slightly extended version with an extra album of B-sides and stuff, which are well worth having on this era. Really, really good. So, fab album. With No Shoes opens it. There's a lot of Dylan influences on this one. So You're a Big Girl Now not only rips the title off, doesn't rip the song off, but that's a great song. How Can You Leave Us? Get On It. It's just everything on this. And Rob's Theme, which was a tribute to their late keyboardist who died tragically young. I think this one is where the guitarist that replaced original guitarist John Baker really starts to come into his own on here. And one of my favourites is How High, because it just rips through the speakers. So that would be my number 1, Charlatans fans. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm really looking forward to the new one. What I've heard so far is fab. It is called We Are Love, the new one, and it's out on 31st of October, Halloween. And I've got a copy on order, so I'll show you that. But over the next week, why don't you listen to this one and all the others? Fabulous, fabulous band. Thanks for watching if you've made it this far in, and hopefully see you on the next one. Quick thank you to all those that are liking, subscribing and leaving comments and hyping. That's the new thing, isn't it? The channel has ticked over the 1,000 kind of subscribers now. And the great thing about that is it enables me now to do something with the adverts, so I can now control them a bit. So on the channel there will be no mid-roll adverts, which are those really annoying ones that it's a slightly longer video come on every 5 minutes. So mid-roll adverts will not appear. They might come on at the start, at the end, but can't do much about that. But yeah, thank you for watching. Over and out, and One to Another, give that a listen. Great song.